Welcome back to the channel. FLUF World Turns 1, updates on Seekers, ATEM Car Club, Altered State Machine, plus a whole bunch more. This is Into the Futureverse, and today is Friday, the 26th of August of 2022. Now give that like button a bunnies up, and let's get into it. Okay team, so much to cover since my last ecosystem update video. It's been about 3 weeks. Fortunately, my family came down with COVID-19 after a short family vacation, which took me off air for a while. So there's so much to cover in today's show. So FLUF World had its first birthday on the 8th of August, and the guys did a live stream together to cover everything that has happened in FLUF World over the first 12 months. It's kind of nuts to see how much has been done in just 12 months. I'm sure for many of you who have been in the ecosystem since the mint, it feels much longer than that, and also only like yesterday. During the video, Alex Smaler and Jesse Metcalf, the two creative minds behind Non-Fungible Labs, were having a bit of an alpha battle, changing their background numerous times to tease us all with some leaks of new content. Some of the 3D rendering of the FLUFlets in particular, and of Valin, the main antagonist out of Gods and Goblins, were a highlight. Shortly after the birthday bash, the complete 3D ready models were dropped and available for holders to download and start creating their own 3D content. And it's been awesome to see the collaborative efforts and group upskilling in the Discord where users are helping each other to create 3D animations for the first time. As Aaron mentions here, these are just the low poly versions of the assets, and some higher quality cinematic files should be dropping soon. It's been really awesome to see some of the community driven content. Next up, it looks like Angelbabys has his own set of wheels in the ATEM Car Club, with a 3D video of his new ride being leaked. Now there is an Angelbaby trait in some of the ATEM Car Club memberships, so I assume that those will entitle you to a copy of this car when it drops. Also, in the Hume Twitter space a few days ago, it was mentioned that the after party holders from the Scenes and Sounds collection may also get access to this car. I'm not sure if that's correct though, so if you do know, please drop it in the comments. On the topic of the ATEM Car Club, the Gods and Goblins Twitter profile dropped a bit of a hint here. Maybe the Chrome versions of the ATEM Car Club membership can be offered as a sacrifice to the Goblin Gods, as part of the gamification around the Gods and Goblins game. That seems to be what they're hinting at here. Now, while we're on the theme of the ATEM Car Club and Gods and Goblins, I wanted to put a shout out to Kiwi for Life here for this incredible effort in creating what he calls the Goblinator. Aaron McDonald liked this effort so much that he urged Kiwi for Life to send in his resume, and who knows, maybe he'll end up becoming part of the official team. Quite clearly, he's a very talented digital animator. The level of detail and complexity of his model is absolutely stunning, and there's a great chance that this could become an actual car within the ATEM Car or Gods and Goblins games. Now, while on the subject of Gods and Goblins, a full 10-minute video featuring the lore of Valin the Shrewd was dropped. And in it, Valin indicates that yes, Seekers will be offered for sacrifice to the Gods and Goblins to help complete their portal and unlock the 7 factions stuck on the other side.
Prospect of reconstructing our portal seemed dire until one evening. In the dead of night, we learned of the roaming Seekers and their movements throughout the metaverse, of their planned return to the Found. A tantalizing smorgasbord of portal paths soon to be ours for the taking.
Clearly, massive effort has been put into building out the lore around many of the ecosystem's assets, and I suspect we'll see more with the Gods and Goblins game revealing over the coming months. CENNZNet, the layer 2 Ethereum blockchain, which forms a key component of the Centrality ecosystem, had a big bit of news recently in their support of the Australian Formula 1 Grand Prix. A blockchain-based fan portal was provided, allowing tradable tokens which enabled a program of unique experiences, such as discounted merchandise, pit lane walks, and on-track experiences. Online auctions for track hot laps and shotguns around the Grand Prix circuit. Nicole Upchurch, the CEO of CENNZNet, had this to say about the initiative. While this powerful technology sat behind the fan token, from a fan's perspective, they interacted, transacted, traded and purchased with an easy-to-use website or phone app. It was hard to tell that the blockchain was involved at all. This represents a shift of power for fans and hints at the fantasy of the future.
View the list of experiences available and decide which benefits are most appealing to you and how many packs of tokens are required. Think of it as a choose-your-own OzGP adventure. Utilize your digital lanyard to unlock experiences both at the event and online. The technology backbone is the CENNZNet blockchain, enabling fans to not only enjoy new experiences, it also allows fans to sell or gift their packs to other fans, should they choose.
What's really exciting about this was the first time that the NFT runtime module built into the CENNZNet blockchain was used. It's that same team and technology that are helping to build out the Root network, which the entire Futureverse will be focused around moving forward. And CENNZNet holders will be able to get a one-to-one airdrop of mycelium once it launches, if they so choose. Now, some more community-driven content has sprung up revolving around some FLUF assets. Fluffi Elliot stars in Genesis, a fantasy novel based on real-life people, events and NFT projects. And chapters 1 and 2 are now available for streaming on Apple, Amazon and Spotify. Support the project by giving them a listen. Who knows, maybe one day your FLUF assets could appear in the show as a character. Before I continue, if you're new to the channel, hi, welcome, I'm Gerry, host of Into the Futureverse, where I cover alpha and updates on all things FLUF World and the Futureverse ecosystem. And if you enjoy this content, consider supporting the channel by smashing that like button, hitting subscribe and hitting the notifications bell so you get all my videos in a timely fashion. Now for an update on the highly anticipated mint of the 0xThulu project, a community-owned and governed Web3 film and art collective. Their mint went live this week, and unfortunately they ran into some problems, where around 5,000 of their initial NFTs, almost half of the entire supply, was minted for free, instead of a mint price of 0.1 ETH, after their smart contract was exploited. The team had to pause the free mint portion of the contract and formulate a plan on how to continue. And after about 6 hours, they decided to honour all existing NFTs and encouraged people to start buying them back on secondary markets. Now, unfortunately, that was always going to have a drag on their actual mint price, so they decided to halve that from 0.1 ETH to 0.05. Encouragingly, most of the NFTs have been snapped up and there's only about 600 left on the open market. However, the floor price has dropped to about 0.01 ETH. Hopefully those 600 NFTs get bought up and there isn't a bunch more dumped on the market. Most people seem to be holding their free mints, which is quite encouraging. And in terms of volume, it's been one of the highest traded NFT collections in recent days. The founder Jacob did mention though that there would be something special coming for those who pay to mint the NFTs moving forward. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Also, it's worth noting that the 0xThulu team will airdrop a free mint to anyone who was eligible that couldn't access the mint during the exploit. So if you have a drug receipt with a purple background or one of the 0xThulu seekers, you'll still be eligible for a free Genesis 0xThulu NFT. Keep an eye on their Twitter and Discord for details. The other big news has come from Altered State Machine and the beginning of genome mining, where users who have been staking Asto and earning Asto energy can start mining Gen 2 brains. David, Jeff and Dan jumped on this YouTube live stream to show how it works.
So for those of you who haven't seen it, this is what the map looks like currently. As we go through time, the more that is mined and the more of the map that is revealed, this map will start revealing what it actually looks like.
Yep, see the detail of the areas, what the AFIA moon world, this continent looks like, and where certain things live within this world.
Will mining change the landscape?
That's an interesting thing, yeah. So does mining have an effect, a long-term effects on the moon, and what kind of mining has what kind of effects on the moon? I know Professor Jenny Bryan is probably more technologically advanced than other people that might want to get access to aphorite, so her methods might be less destructive than, say, I don't know, off the top of my head, just contrived example, goblins.
Are we going to be putting some anti-fracking posters up, and they're going to be massive oil rigs going into the mountains to get all this aphorite out to find all the detail? We have our first set of coordinates for you, David. It's 140 by 140.
So let's go over here. It looks pretty like, so we've got some islands around here. We've got I would say it's pretty safe bet that this is sort of deep ocean. Right, I'm going to go wide. So this is my last slot. So I'm going to go 20 wide on this one.
Oof.
Hopefully there's a rare aphorite vein running through here.
So we're initiating the mining. So for those of you who don't know, the radius 20 means David is mining 20 brains in this area, all from different sort of slots. So radius is width and sweep is depth, I believe.
There's 60 days to mine the series of brains and then it's over, or
then we've got another 60-day cycle.
Yeah.
After that.
So mining cycle 1 has 35,000 brains in total available, and then you have the 60 days to mine them. Any ASO energy you don't use does get saved up for mining cycle 2 though, and then the next cycle will have more brains ready to be mined. But who knows if it'll be the same place or any of the same details. You'll have to wait until mining cycle 2 for any of that. I'm really interested to see if we actually get to see this whole map in mining cycle 1, because it really depends on if everyone is going in different places or not.
Floating Ratio on the ASM Discord had this theory about Gen 2 brains. The map is a LiDAR map. I expect it to turn 3D, show elevation at some point. Maybe that helps us to mine differently in the next cycle. I think there must be an incentive to keep on staking, generating energy throughout all cycles. That could be new brains and areas. Another theory is that our brains represent plots of land on the moon. So the map that is now 2D will turn 3D, and our 3D brains can turn 2D and represent the surface layer on the moon. The best brains are mineral rich. The ascended brains contain more energy? I could be totally wrong, of course. This theory kind of reminds me of how the fur for the thingies was created, where a 2D render was wrapped up into the 3D shape of a thingy. Maybe the reverse is true here, where a 3D Gen 2 brain becomes a 2D plot of land on the surface of AFIA moon. So it's a very interesting theory. Personally, I think the brains look really cool, and I like how they look very different from the Gen 1 brains. Now there's about 35,000 available brains in this mining cycle, and about 14,000 have already been mined, and the community has been really enthused with the process. Some saying it's their favourite NFT minting experience ever. So well done to the ASM team. Next up is the Seekers. The last batches of the Overseekers have revealed and they look incredible. There were 5 Goblin-themed Seekers who infiltrated the homes of the gods and goblins, picking up intel on their journey. Then there was the Mycelium Overseekers, covered in mushrooms. Personally, I loved these. I thought they looked fantastic. The last batch of Overseekers were FLUF-themed and also looked really cool. But the final one-of-one Seeker was revealed with its extensive bit of lore, and it looks incredible. The Dark Seeker. Now the lore can be read in this series of tweets, but Annabella, the lore writer for Seekers, also released a Medium post, covering it in detail. And with the reveal now complete, the final trait count for the Seekers is a staggering 569, and the Rarity.tools site breaks down the collection for you. Last up, the Party Bear Twitter profile dropped this tweet thread on Buzzies. Hopefully we might start to see some of them reveal over the coming weeks as we build momentum towards the launch of the Root Network, hopefully in the October-November timeframe, especially now that the Seekers Mint has fully revealed. Apparently, tremendous resources are being put into the creation of the Buzzies, and they're rather complex in their technical implementation. Clearly, music is a key focus behind them. I'm hopeful it'll provide tools for users to start creating their own music tracks based off the stems that are dropped as part of the party packs. But it all remains to be seen. Thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed this content, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and maybe consider watching one of my other videos. Bunnies up!